In today's fast-moving world, it's becoming increasingly rare to sit down, have a conversation, relax, and unwind. Welcome to Inaky's Coffee Club, the podcast that aims to have engaging conversations that transcend the ordinary. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. He's also a friend of mine. His name's Mauricio, and he's a real estate agent here in Tulum, Mexico, one of the most booming markets in Mexico right now. I actually bought a condo here, and Mauricio helped me. Mauricio, welcome to the Inaky's Coffee Club.
Thank you so much, Inaky. I'm really excited to be here. I'm very grateful to be part of your podcast. I know it's a new project of yours, and you're putting so much effort to it. And I think you're doing a great job. It's already successful. And yeah, when you invited me to be part of this episode, I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Because as I told you, it's the first time I'm involved in a podcast.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. But then I was like, okay, so he's inviting me to talk about two things I really love. You know, the first one is real estate.
Yes.
And the second one is the Riviera Maya and Tulum.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, so what could go potentially wrong? You know,
exactly.
Like the things I'm used to talk about.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Well, and you know, it's like every time I've met with you, and you know, I've been coming here so many times, and you've helped me so much, and you're so knowledgeable about this area, right? Like I had to do so much research before I felt comfortable purchasing a place here in Tulum. And you know, I met different real estate agents before I met you, but once I met you, I knew that you were the most knowledgeable that I had met, and so then I just stuck with you. And anytime somebody wants to come to Tulum, they reach out to me and they ask me questions. They ask me questions about the market. But then once they want to take the next step and actually look at investment properties, I always send them your way because you're really like my most trusted resource here in Tulum. So I appreciate you being here. And yes, you're right. It's just a podcast. It's just a conversation. So you know what you're talking about. So that's why you're here today.
Yeah, thank you so much again for inviting me. And I think I've never told you before, but you were actually one of my first clients.
Yeah?
I think you were my second client in my whole career.
Oh, wow.
So it's also a really interesting fact.
Yeah.
We met actually here at this location.
Yeah.
So, and it's a tremendous location. I think we have to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever I was looking for, like, you know, first I came here, I think it was like 4 years ago, and I came here just with a group of friends. And then I came back, and I just noticed how much growth there had been in just, you know, a year. So I was like, man, this place is interesting. Something's going on here. So I kept looking around and started researching the market and noticed that, you know, it was an interesting market to invest in real estate. So then once I decided that I wanted to take that a step further, I started looking at different developments. And then that's how we met, because you were working on this development, which is called Miraluna, which is inside Aldea Sama, which is the only master plan community in Tulum. So that was another draw for just this area. Tulum as a whole, so many tourists coming here, so much money coming here. But then within Tulum, there's Aldea Sama, the master plan community. And then within Aldea Sama is Miraluna, which is, I think, the best project here in Aldea Sama. So tell us a little bit about Miraluna, because you worked here and you're the one that really got me to move forward with this place.
Yeah, of course. Well, Miraluna was actually the first project I worked for. I started on real estate around 4 years ago. I started because the wife of my dad, she's called Audrey Migliori. She's from France. She's a businesswoman, and she has her own agency here in the Riviera Maya. She's now also a developer, so she's really successful right now. Audrey gave me the opportunity to start working in real estate. She invited me to her agency, and she was selling Miraluna. In Tulum, when we have a listing, and like a new listing of a whole new development, which is a pre-sale. When it's a pre-sale, we call them master brokers. Okay, so in this time, we were the agency, which is called Lun Luxury, was the master broker of Miraluna, because we worked directly with the developer, and we were the only agency that was allowed to sell this project directly. Of course, we could also work with other brokers as well, but in this case, I was selling. I was focused 100% on selling Miraluna on the agency. So that's how I got into real estate, and as I was telling you, a couple of months later, I met you as my clients, and since then we have been friends. You know? We know each other now for 3 years or around 3 years, maybe 4 now.
Right.
And yeah, Miraluna was a complete success.
Yes.
You know, it was a really fast sold out. We have 60 units, and we sold all of them in around a year. So it was a really successful development. By the time, it was the development that the market was asking for.
Yep.
So that's why we had success in commercializing this development. It's also in a gated community, as you well said. There are very few gated communities, and we are also in Aldea Sama, which is really close and connected to the Avenida Cobá. So we are just 7 minutes away from the beach, actually, from the hotel zone. So we are in a very good location as well.
Yeah, I mean, the location is huge because, like you said, it's 7 minutes away to the beach, and really, you know, most people, whenever they go to a vacation market to look for investment properties, they want to buy property on the beach. Tulum's kind of unique because most of the property on the beach is actually boutique hotels. So there's really not much that you can buy as an investor as far as property on the beach goes, unless you want to spend $2 million, $3 million. Then there's some areas that you can really do buy something like that. But if you're just, you know, wanting to invest maybe $200,000 to $500,000, a condo in Aldea Sama, I think is one of the best options. It's so close to the beach. But then again, you have all the amenities, such as the restaurants. It's very walkable, and then so there's so much to do just around here.
Yeah. There's so much to do. It's actually really safe. It's a really exclusive location. But also there's one thing Tulum has is that people with any kind of expectation when investing in real estate or any kind of budget can invest in Tulum.
Right.
So there's so many regions, so many areas that are growing. You know, the infrastructure is coming, and we will talk about that in a minute. But right now, there's a lot of opportunities out there for all types of people, all types of investors. So if you are looking for maybe 5 years from now appreciation on your investment, you can find we have the correct region to invest there. If you want to invest someplace that is already constructed, where there's infrastructure, we also have that.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, and for me, you know, to your point, there's many different kinds of investments that you can make here, whether it's land, a small condo, a 2-bedroom condo, a townhome, a single-family homes, or a penthouse. You know, there's different kinds of investments here. And to your point, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for cash flow, maybe there's a certain type of investment you'll make. If you're looking for appreciation, there's a different type of investment that you'll make. And if you're just looking for a second home or a family home, that will be a totally different investment as well. But then also some of them have a combination of all 3 aspects of it.
Yeah, of course, that's a really interesting point. And also one thing I think it's important to know also the history of Tulum, you know, to know a little bit how we got into here and what are the antecedents of Tulum. And I think we can talk right now a little bit about it.
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, so we go back to COVID lockdown, because market in Tulum, it happened something really unique here at the beginning, but now it changed. But at the beginning, we go back to COVID lockdown. Since 10 years before COVID, Tulum was starting to develop. But it was developing, we can call it a normal phase. You know, like normal speed, the same as Cancun and other cities, you know. But then we had this COVID lockdown, and borders across the world were closed. Okay, so we have all the borders closed, but Tulum never closed.
It never closed?
It never closed, yeah.
Okay.
We had, actually Mexico in general, our borders didn't close. We still were receiving people from all over the world. But Tulum, it was a unique case there. It was something special happened there, because we had already condos like in the middle of the jungle, like we're right now. You know, like we're isolated from people, and we were also really close to the beach. So what happened here is that we were receiving tons and tons of people, even in COVID, because they prefer to come here Most of them were digital nomads. That's how we call them. They come here, they rent a studio for long term. You know, they were staying for 6 months and they were working from here.
Yeah.
And what happened with that? We were receiving, Tulum was full of people, even in COVID.
Yeah.
We had the highest occupancy rates ever during COVID.
Yeah.
Like condos were having like 80% plus occupancy rate per year annually. So, and also because there was a lot of demand, the average cost per night went higher.
Right.
So what happened when you have a lot of demand, it brought the attention of developers all around the world and all around Mexico.
Yes.
So they came here, they bought land, they saw the opportunity, and they start developing. That's why, since COVID, Tulum has really been under the spotlight of the world.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and I feel that COVID and Instagram just kind of like blew up, Tulum, because you see all these influencers also coming here, right? Because of COVID and because they could work from anywhere, so they're spending a lot of time here, and so they're posting on Instagram, and like more and more people now know about Tulum, to whereas 4 or 5 years ago it was kind of like still not really known that much. And that's one of the things I like about it, right? Like people are starting to discover it more and more, and like you said, so many developers are coming here, and that's really also a good sign that the business continues to come to this area.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And for example, what happened then? A lot of developers, they came here, they start developing. The market was asking by the time for studios, because it was the most rent type of unit, typology, and also the occupancy rate was higher, and it was a really good investment because of the entry price as well.
Right.
So developers came, they start building a lot of studios, and now, I mean, studios are still a good investment, but now the market has changed.
Yeah, of course.
So right now, the market is asking for bigger units, for more square feet. The market is asking for two bedroom units or more. Yeah. But because people now want to move here to live.
Yeah, exactly.
And they want a space that they can live comfortable.
Right. I think like a lot of people discovered it, and now they're starting to figure out that, oh man, this is a really cool place to live. Even myself, I'm figuring out how I can spend a few months out of the year down here at a time, And because that's another thing, the Wi-Fi here is incredible. Yeah. So you can really work from many different places here in Tulum. Just yesterday, I met a digital nomad here in Miraluna, and she's staying here she doesn't know. I asked her, how long are you staying here? And she said, I've been here for 5 weeks, but I don't know. I'm going to stay here until I don't feel like staying here anymore. And she's an international translator, so she's just on the phone translating between Spanish and English for whoever needs translating done. But that was super cool to actually see somebody that is a digital nomad that's here living, and you keep seeing that over and over again. So to your point, it's not just the overnight stays. Like as an investor, you always want to have multiple ways to bring in revenue. So if maybe it's low season for overnight stays, there's also digital nomads that are looking for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month leases.
Yeah, exactly. And right now it's more common even to have more than we call it. It's not short stays, neither long stays. It's like midterm. Midterm, exactly. So we have people coming renting for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and there's a good business opportunity there. Right. Because you won't use the normal platforms used for short terms. Yep. Maybe you can figure out a way to rent that person that both the owner and the customer wins, Yeah, exactly. By saving maybe some commissions, but there's a really good business opportunity. And also people from right now, we have a lot of people coming from Canada. They spend here 4, 5, 6 months of the year when it's cold in Canada. Yeah. So they come here.
That's a good point. With my own rental unit, I've seen so many different places and countries of people that are coming this way. And right now in my unit, I actually have some people from Switzerland. So they came all the way from Switzerland, from Europe, and they're staying in my unit for 2 weeks. So I couldn't stay in my own unit while I'm down here. I had to
You rent the one next door.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, we have a rental management business now here,
Yeah.
so we're renting, managing 11 units here in Miraluna. So it's nice that
Cool.
I have the option to kind of go in between units and just pay those owners, you know, and then also help them with their positive reviews and all of that. So it's great, and you know, I love Miraluna, and I just meet so many people from everywhere. You know, like I've met people from Amsterdam, I met people from Spain, I met people from Switzerland. So it's not just the U.S. that's driving this market; it's really worldwide. It's a worldwide destination.
Yeah, and that is great also because here you meet people from all over the world, as you said, and you get really good connections. You do really good networking.
Exactly.
Here. So you as a real estate agent, networking is the key of the business. You know, real estate is networking.
Exactly.
So here it's a great opportunity to meet people from all over the world and also potential new customers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, there's different things that attract those people here. Obviously, the beautiful beach and the fact that we're in the Caribbean Sea, right? Like that's one of the main things. But also, there's really good nightlife here. And then on the other side of that, there's a really good like spiritual community and like a healing community here in Tulum.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Actually, Tulum is very popular because of the music festivals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have really good and important music festivals from all over the world. People are actually comparing now Tulum with Ibiza.
Yeah.
Because people from Ibiza, we have almost the same festivals as Ibiza. They bring the festivals here.
Exactly.
So on January, like the whole month is full of festivals, of dates, festivals. And we have pretty famous names like Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
And there's Afterlife from it's international.
Yeah.
So that brings people from all over the world to spend months here, you know, to visit those festivals.
I've seen Rufus Assault is a DJ here. Diplo has come here. Like so many of the top like international DJs like are coming to Tulum. And then so that's really good, right? The nightlife and the party aspect of it and the music side of things. But I always say that Tulum is two sides because again, there's also the healing side. Like there's so much yoga and meditation and Mayan rituals, and there's so much on the healing side of things that you can do as well here. So, or you can do half and half. You know, you can go have a great night, and the next day go get into a temazcal, sweat everything out, and then do some yoga.
Yeah, exactly. And well, right now I'm working for an agency which is called Towers Capital. I really like this agency because we are doing things different.
Yeah.
Okay, for the owner of the agency, the sales director, which is called Diego Colom, he's a great guy. He's really smart. He knows the market so well, you know, and he's approaching customers through a different way. You know, we are trying to get potential investors, not by doing like campaigns on social media, like the typical way to bring customers.
Okay.
He's inspiring us to go out there, you know, to see first identify what you're good at it, what you like, and then go out there and network.
Right.
You know. So we have a guy called Rodrigo. He works for the agency. He's really good at playing golf.
Okay.
So what happened here? Diego, the sales director, he paid the membership to Rodrigo, so he can go play golf in a really well-known golf camp.
Yeah.
And he's meeting people there.
Yeah.
You know? He's meeting potential investors there, and he's closing deals.
Nice.
There. So he's actually inspiring us to go out there, to do some network, to meet people, and
you know, I have my team, right, the Strict Group, and that's all my new agents. That's literally what I tell them. You know, there's so many ways to build a business in real estate. Like you said, you can do online leads, social media campaigns, and this and that. But in reality, like my own philosophy for building a good real estate business is to go out and make friends. And the more friends that you make, at some point, they'll want to either invest in real estate, have to sell their house. So it's really, like you said, all about networking. And I keep saying that over and over again because everyone's looking for all these different ways to do business. But in reality, it's a people business.
Exactly.
And all you have to do is meet more people. And to your point, like Rodrigo likes to golf, that's what I tell the girls that work with me is figure out what you like, what you're good at, and really what you enjoy, because if you're going to spend half of your life working, you might as well do it in an enjoyable way. So it looks different for everybody, and different people are going to connect with you based on different things. So if you can find the thing that you enjoy and meet people through there, then that's how you're going to make authentic relationships.
Exactly, yeah. And one important thing is not to talk about real estate.
Exactly, exactly.
I think you have to meet someone first, and eventually he or she will figure you are into real estate, and maybe they will invest with you.
Right.
Okay? But you don't have to go straight and talking about real estate. You know.
That's exactly what I say. Do you want to come work with me? Because that's exactly what I tell them.
I'll consider it.
Yeah. That's exactly my mindset. It's just make friends, don't talk about real estate.
Yeah.
If they ask about real estate, of course, you know, we have the market knowledge, but it's all about making friends first.
Of course.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, with this agency, right now I'm a sales manager for a development which is called Guayé, which is a great development. It's located actually really close from here. It's just 200 meters from the Coba Avenue, which is the most important avenue, the one that connects you to the hotel zone.
Yep.
And I'm now running a campaign for that development and for Tulum.
Yeah.
Because I want to go out there and stop. I mean, numbers are important on investment, but I think everyone is talking about numbers right now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for this new approach, trying to talk more about Tulum as a destination, as a destination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which talk more about the value of Tulum, the history of Tulum, all the as you were talking right now, all the things that happen in Tulum, including the holistic face of Tulum, the festival face of Tulum, talking more about the natural resources, about the importance of the green reserve areas of Tulum, all the beautiful beaches, the cenotes, which are also a really interesting thing, because here in the Riviera Maya, we have the longest underwater cave system, the largest underwater cave system in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, we have 2 underwater cave systems that were not connected. One was called Zacactun, the other one was called Dos Ojos.
Okay.
And those 2 were in the top 5 of the world. Then in 2012, somebody find a way to connect both of them. Okay. And now we have the largest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's real crazy. It's like Disneyland for cave divers.
Yeah, exactly.
So we also have that tourism. People are from all over the world, divers.
Yeah.
They want to come here to explore these caves.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And also it's really important for humanity, because great part of what we know about history of humanity is because what explorers found on those caves.
Yeah.
Skeletons all from 10,000 plus years ago.
Yeah.
And many studies has been done on those underwater cave systems.
Right.
And we found a lot of information from humanity. So, and there are not so many people know about that. It's what we see in the history books.
And they're beautiful too, you know. So cenotes are basically, you know, it's the aquifer, right? Basically, and then it kind of sunk on itself, and so it opens up a big open area, and they're all just kind of look like oases because they're in the middle of the jungle, and they have crystal clear blue water, and they're so refreshing. And yes, they're all interconnected through underground. But whenever they open up, there's thousands of them in this region, and you can just go and, you know, have a nice day.
Actually, a cave diver myself. I've been doing it since COVID. Actually, I try to dive once a month. It's a sport I really enjoy. I really love, because it's something I share with my dad.
Oh, nice.
He's also a cave diver. Yeah. Actually, he got me into diving. Yeah.
Very cool.
And we do it once a month since 4 years ago. Yeah. And we haven't even dived, I think 5% of what's out there.
Right.
So you can spend your whole life here diving, and you won't get tired. There's always different things to do. Right. Different things to explore.
Yeah. Another great thing about Tulum is the food. Every time I come down here, not only is it delicious, and you have all these different cuisines from different parts because of, you know, how international this destination is. Yeah. You see like restaurants opening up that are Italian, Mexican, Spanish, like really different types of food. Yeah. But at the same time, it's all always very healthy. Like every time I come to Tulum, even though I'm eating like a king and I enjoy everything that I eat, I always lose weight.
Oh yeah. It's like when you have to lose weight, you come to Tulum. It's like your diet.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that is true. We have gastronomy, like a mix of gastronomy from all parts of the world. Yeah, it's like the culture in Tulum it's like a shared culture because there's no one type of gastronomy which is only in Tulum. It's like a mix of a lot of styles all around the world. So yeah, it's really nice actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, there's just restaurants everywhere, so you can walk to any of them anytime. Like yesterday, I rode a bike from here to a really nice Italian restaurant, and it was funny to be in an Italian restaurant in Tulum. But again, they threw their own twist to it, but it was amazing food.
Yeah, it's really good food.
Yeah.
And you have too many options here. Yeah, we're also really, I mean, we are really connected to Playa, to Cancun, which are other destinations here in the state of Quintana Roo. And you can find also a lot of gastronomy there. You know, Cancun is a bigger city. It's Tulum. It's like a medium city right now, and I mean Playa del Carmen is like a medium, and Tulum is like it's a smaller city right now.
A small city that's growing.
That's growing, exactly.
And that's what I also like about just this region in general, because Quintana Roo is the most visited state in all of Mexico. Like it has the biggest influx of tourists. And also, like, the economy drives on tourism here. Yeah. And the thing is, like, you can go to Cancun, but Cancun is already built out, right? Like, you have, like, huge developments everywhere. Yeah. And then to your point, you go down a little bit more south, and that's where you find Playa, and that's a medium city. And then Tulum is a little bit south of Playa, and this is, like, the next destination. And it's totally different vibes, too, right? Like, if you go to Cancun, Playa, and Tulum, they're different vibes, different atmospheres. And so that's why I'm really excited about Tulum, because of everything. It's kind of moving this way.
Yeah, exactly. I think Tulum, comparing to Cancun and Playa, Tulum has its own essence, you know, its own style, and it's like really unique style. You know, that one thing that Tulum has is that if you describe Tulum to somebody anywhere in the world, like, okay, like we wear this kind of clothes, we have a lot of jungle, we are really into festivals, we have this holistic part in going on in Tulum, they will guess that you're talking about Tulum.
Exactly.
So, and very few cities all around the world have that characteristic, you know?
Right.
If you talk about Paris, France, if you describe Paris, people will know you're talking about Paris.
Yep.
The same happens with Tulum. You talk about Tulum, people anywhere in the world, they will figure out you're talking about Tulum.
Exactly.
So that's unique.
Right, yeah, it's so special. It's really, truly magical to be here in this place, you know?
Yeah.
And so now let's talk about just infrastructure, because there's a lot happening here, right? Like it's not only important for tourism, but also for investors, right? Like what are the big infrastructure things that are coming to Tulum that are happening right now? Some of them are getting inaugurated this year, I believe. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Okay, so we have three huge projects coming that involves Tulum right now, coming soon. The first one is the Tulum International Airport. Okay, so the delivery date for that one is December 2023, this year. I believe that maybe it's going to be delivered next year, but the thing is that it's a reality. You know, it's coming soon, and we have that airport, which will be like 25 minutes from Tulum, international airport that will have connections all around the world. Airlines are slowly joining to this airport, signing contracts and accepting to fly here. So that is great for the destination, you know. That airport is expecting 5.5 million passengers per year.
Wow.
So it will change everything about Tulum. It will bring almost double the people that is coming right now.
Right.
So, and very few cities in Mexico have an international airport.
Exactly.
Even Playa doesn't have one. Okay, so that's something that is coming, and obviously right now is a great time to invest because we are really close for the delivery of the airport. So all properties are expected to appreciate, and also there will be more occupancy because more people are coming to the city.
Right.
We also have the Tren Maya, which is also a big project. I think it's the biggest project right now going on in Mexico by the government of Mexico. It's going to connect all southeast of Mexico by train. So you will be able to fly to Tulum, go to Yucatan, go to Cancun, go to Bacalar, even to Chiapas, which is which will be connected as well. So that will make that more locals, more Mexicans travel inside their country because it's more connected,
Right.
the southeast area. And also tourists will have a better connection, you know. If they want to come to visit Mexico, they will not only visit Tulum, but they will have the possibility to go to Yucatan or other cities
Right.
that are also really important in Mexico. So that project is coming also December 2023. I think it's also coming for 2024,
Yeah.
but it's a reality. We already have advanced construction. They already sent the train to Cancun.
Oh, cool.
They already tested.
Yeah.
So it's coming soon, you know.
Perfect.
And that will also appreciate properties and will bring more investors
Right.
to Tulum as well.
Right.
And the third project that is coming soon is the Parque El Jaguar,
Okay.
which is actually in front of here.
Yeah.
It's a natural reserve that is 1,000 hectares. And I think it's like 3 times Central Park.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Three times the size of Central Park.
Yeah, 3
Wow.
times. And it will be like a whole preserve area, a natural area, you know. There will be trails. It will be open for tourists. You will be able to walk there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not only preserve area, but also a park
Okay.
in Tulum. That's why it's called Parque, which is park
Yeah.
in English. Parque El Jaguar.
That's exciting. I knew about
Yeah.
it, but I didn't know that you were going to be able. I thought it was just a reserve for the jaguars, but I didn't know
Yeah.
that you were going to be able to walk through it. And that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So you can go there, jog in the morning.
Yeah.
You can, go walk there inside of the jungle, and it will be like huge.
Yeah.
You know.
So those are 3 infrastructure projects, and that's exciting because currently, you know, you have to go to Cancun, you have to land in Cancun, and then drive 2 hours south or take a taxi or a private car to get to Tulum, right? And
Yeah.
even though you have to do that, there's still so many people coming here. I can't imagine what it will be like once we have an international airport that's open here in Tulum. And that was one of my main drivers and motivators for also investing here, because to me that just made sense, right? Like I wanted to close on my condo before that happened because it's just supply and demand, right? Like right now, Tulum's being discovered. Once there's an international airport there and it's so much easier to get here, there's gonna be way more people that come here, see it, and they're also going to want to, you know, get their hands on a condo or 2 here. So, you know, for appreciation aspect of it, infrastructure is a huge thing in any market.
Yeah.
So just the airport itself is going to be huge. But then we have the Tren Maya, which is a high-speed train that's going to connect all the south of Mexico, and that's also happening right now. So that's another easy way to get from, if you still have to land in Cancun, you can take the train and come straight to Tulum. So that's exciting. And then the third one that you mentioned is the park, which I'm excited about that. 3 times the size of Central Park.
Yeah.
It's going to be a natural preserve. You're going to be able to walk and jog through it. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, really amazing. And as you say, it's all about supply and demand.
Right.
So you don't have to be a genius to know that Tulum is growing. You know, those kind of projects that are coming here they talk themselves. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's exciting.
It is actually, yeah. And going back again to Towers Capital, the agency I work for, we're right now with a campaign which is called Momentos Guayé. In English will be like Guayé Moments. And we are inviting other brokers in Tulum to start posting experiences, things they enjoy doing here in Tulum, in the Riviera Maya, like we want them to start talking more about the destination than numbers, because right now when you check like Instagrams for brokers here in Tulum, everything is the same.
Yeah, they're all talking about the numbers.
Numbers, and also they're touring properties.
Yeah.
They're talking about, hey, how much do you think this property costs?
Yeah.
And they start touring the property. But what we're trying to do now is to start talking more about the destination, you know, like why Tulum is like worth, not just about the numbers, but also the value it has as a unique city.
Yeah, and I think why people talk about the numbers is because the numbers are so great here, right? Like, and that's why everybody's doing that. Because as an example, like I bought my condo here for $200,000, and it's like in the States, there's nothing there's nothing compared to this that I can buy for $200,000, you know? So the numbers are amazing. I get why people are talking about the numbers, not just on the purchase side, but also on the income that you can produce. But I love your idea. It's like, let's stop talking about the numbers, because Tulum's not just about the numbers. Like, yes, the numbers are great, but at the same time, like, it is a destination. It's a place that you come and relax and unwind. And really, that's why I come here, you know, it's to get away from it all. But at the same time, if I need to get connected, I can work from here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, imagine what will happen if suddenly all social media from brokers in this part of the country start posting about Tulum, but not only numbers, but start posting about the natural aspect, you know, talking about the beauty of Tulum.
Right.
It will impact the world, you know. People probably will start investing because they want to learn diving, and here it's a great place to learn, or they want to learn sailing in the sea, and here's also a great place to do sailing.
Exactly.
And maybe they will fall in love with Tulum, will get more involved with Tulum, not only as an investor, but also like joining the community and growing with the city.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. And, you know, I know you want to talk about the natural side, but there's one more financial aspect of it that I think we need to hit on because it's so important, which is that Tulum is a cash market, right? And some people see that as a negative because they don't have the financing. And we'll talk about financing as well, because there are some kinds of ways to do financing. But compared to like the States, where, you know, you can put 20% down, then finance the rest of it, here's a little bit different. And so it's a harder level of entry because you need the cash, but at the same time, the positive side of that is that nobody has these huge mortgages on their condos, so the market's not fluctuating like it does in the States, in America. In America, when interest rates go really high up, the real estate market totally changes. Here, the interest rates have always been, you know, around 8 to 12% for the longest time ever. Right. So people don't really finance. So what that happens is that they invest in cash. So the value is real here. It's not overinflated. Like, people actually own their properties because they paid cash for it. And if something happens in the economy, they're not in a panic to sell their property because they have a debt that they have to pay because they own the units outright.
You're right, yeah, and the market is more stable as well. We don't depend on, we don't have those fluctuations, as you said. It's more, it's more stable, and we properties in Mexico rarely depreciate. Right. You know, they always appreciate because we don't have those market conditions that apply here. Exactly. Because it's a cash market, right? You said. And here there's, for a pre-sale, we usually ask for a 30% down payment. So you have to, if you are interested in investing here, you need to have that 30% in cash ready to invest. Yep. And the other 70%, we ask for it when the construction and when it's finished and when you get your unit delivered. Yep. Okay, so you have to think about that, but at the same time, it's really good because you have that finance, because you can look for maybe a pre-sale that is going to deliver in 3 years. Yep. You have those 3 years of direct financing with the developer, right? With no interest. Yeah, so it's different because, like, in the States, you put 20% down, then you finance the rest for 30 years. Yeah. Whereas here, you're financing through the construction of the project, right? So most projects here are sold in pre-sale, right, before they're fully finished. So to your point, you put 30% down while it's being built, and then sometimes maybe you can put a little bit more. If it's, like you said, a 3-year project, maybe a year and a half from now you put another 20% down, and maybe at closing you put the rest of the 50% down. Yep. And some developers have different incentives, right? Like, if you have the full amount, they may give you a discount before giving them the money ahead of time. That way they can use the money to continue to develop. And so those are the different ways that you can actually, quote unquote, finance the property if you don't have the full amount right now, but you expect to have it in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. Exactly, yeah. And as you were saying, if you have a higher down payment, you get a higher discount usually on the property, because the developer uses the money, right? And it's less expensive than getting the money from a bank. Exactly. So that's why they incentivize that to give a higher down payment, and yeah. One important thing to know when investing in Tulum is that you for people that are not Mexicans, foreign people, they have to, in this part of Mexico, we are in a restricted area. So it's a restricted area when you are 50 kilometers from the coast,
beach,
from
right?
the beach. Yeah. And also if you are 100 kilometers from frontiers.
Okay.
Okay. So we are right now in a restricted area, and to get a property here, you have to do it through a bank trust. We call that bank trust a fideicomiso. It's basically you own all the rights of the property. You can do whatever you want with your property. You can sell it, you can rent it, but you buy it through a bank,
right?
Which is a really safe procedure, and it's also really easy to do.
Yeah.
So,
it's basically the comparable of like a trust in the United States. It's a bank trust here, and that's how foreigners are able to purchase here. So a lot of people think that they can't buy property in other countries. Well, here you can through this instrument, through a bank trust, which is called a fideicomiso.
Exactly. And more than one people can join a fideicomiso, which is great because you don't have to buy maybe yourself, you can buy with more people property. Yeah. And you can invest in groups. Yeah. So that's really flexible. I really like that you are actually an investor here because you know about what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yes. And I think that's really important because people, it's not just knowing the theory. Yeah. You have to live the process of it, and you have lived through it. So you have all the information firsthand. I can't lie to you. Yeah. Because you know it.
Yeah, exactly. I've been through the whole process. I know exactly what the steps are. So that's why a lot of people do reach out to me, because I have been through the process and they followed me on Instagram and have seen that. And so then they ask me questions, and then once they actually want to come down here, I hand them off to you, so then you can actually show them property and then take them to the finish line.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we do a great team there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another thing that I think I really like about how the contract was written here, and it's different on every development, right? I want to preface it that way, but especially here in Miraluna, the way that I know that my transaction worked out is in the States, when you buy a new construction property, they have a clause in the contract that if construction materials increase, that your sales price can increase.
Wow.
And that's normal over there, and that was normal to me. But one thing that I liked here is that it didn't say that in the contract. What it actually said was that if they don't deliver the finished product on the day that they said, they have a 3-month extension, and then if they won't go past that, they actually give you some money back, so they decrease the sales price. And that actually happened to us. It took them a little bit longer, and I think we got like $8,000 back at closing, and I was like, wow, this is so crazy. Instead of my price going up, we got money back. And so, obviously the contracts are going to be in Spanish, and they are translated to English. The Spanish is what what actually matters. But so you have to have a good team like you and attorneys that you recommend to actually really look at the contracts and understand what you're signing.
Exactly. I think that's why it's really important to have a real estate agent that is local from the area, that knows how contracts are made in this part of in this city, in this part of Mexico. And I think anyone should reach out to a real estate agent, because if some developments, they don't have penalties. That thing you just talked about, we call it penalties. So it's a penalty for the developer if they don't deliver on time. Yeah. So it benefits you. Right. It's a way to protect the buyer. Yeah. And a lot of contracts doesn't have penalties or doesn't have like protection for the buyers, and you have to ask for it. Right. You have to negotiate with the development, so they add those penalties. And the real estate agent, he has to know exactly what kind of penalties benefits the buyer.
Exactly. What they can negotiate on. Yeah. And the thing is, and I keep comparing it to the States because that's where I practice real estate, right, in Texas. And so that's kind of like my way of comparing. But over there, you have to have a real estate license to practice real estate. Yeah. Here in Mexico, you don't. So anybody can be a real estate agent here. And that's why you have to be very careful in vetting who your real estate agent is going to be. Yeah. And because, anybody can be a real estate agent and they could just say that they do real estate, but in reality, they may not know the whole process. And so that's why it's important to team up with the right team. That way you're covered.
Yeah, you're right. And it's good you talk about the certification of real estate agents. It's funny because here in Mexico, to be able to certify yourself as a real estate agent, first you have to have experience. So if you go out there to the secretary that gives you the certified, they ask, okay, send me this, send me, you have to have 3 operations closed, and you have to bring all the documents to that office, so you can prove you're a real estate agent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but so it's funny because first you have to work without being certified to be able to certify.
Wow.
Yeah,
it seems kind of backwards.
It's funny. It's backwards.
Yeah,
I'm certified anyway, so I have my certification number, and you can check it online as well. But at the beginning, we are all forced to work without certification,
sure.
You know, because we have to have those operations to be able to certify yourself.
Right, that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's funny.
Another thing that's interesting here is the way of construction and how they build here, right? Again, in the States, it's all made with sticks and sheetrock, right? Which that is just not the best way to build, but it's the most affordable way. Like in the States, they're just building as many houses as they can, as fast as they can, and they're using the cheapest materials possible. Not in every area, of course, but just the majority of homes, that's how they're built.
Yeah.
But here, you know, you look around and it's all steel, concrete, big beams, like this place is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. Like construction here is planned to last. You know, we're thinking 40 years, 50 years or more. We really do, developers use really good materials, also really unique materials, because we have some materials from the region that are used a lot, such as the stones, we call it Mayan stones, which is like a white stone, which is beautiful. Sometimes they do a wall with that kind of stones.
Yeah.
Also look at this pool, those finishes of the pool, it's called sokabumi, which is also really exotic.
Yeah.
Like, it's really beautiful. And we have a lot of types of wood that are used from this area, from this region.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned the pool, so that makes me want to talk about Miraluna again, because we touched on it at the beginning, but I mean, this development is just so unique. Like you said, like just the construction materials that they use are so classy and so cool. But I want to talk about the amenities, right? Like this development here has this rooftop pool, which is so nice. We're technically on the 3rd level. It's actually the 4th because we're on the rooftop, and you get incredible views. You get all these birds that are just coming in and out. And then downstairs, there's another pool. It's called a cenote pool. Yeah. Then you have a Wi-Fi co-working area where it's just this home office that is beautiful. Yeah. You have elevators here, and you're just in a gated and guarded community. And it's double security because the community as a whole has a gate and a guard, and then Miraluna itself has a guard at the front. So it's a very, very safe area.
Yeah, it's great. I think Miraluna is a great project, and also all those projects that are around here are really great for investment. And now with the growth of Tulum is growing, we have new communities, new gated communities that are coming out soon. Yeah. So we are getting a little bit closer to the beach. It's developing down there. Yep. And also in other regions like Region 15, which is going to have amazing development, and it's also close to an avenue that is called the Kukulkan Avenue, which is also connected to the hotel zone and to the beach. Yeah. So now we have 2 connections to the beach, which is the Avenida Coba and the Kukulkan. But soon we will have, the plan is to have 10. Wow. 10 connections.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And that, just thinking about those regions, it kind of remind me that there's a school here that they're building. Or do you know about that school?
Yeah, it's called the Green School.
The Green School, yes.
We have more schools,
right?
But the Green School is like the most renowned, sounded school people are talking about, because it's an international system. Yeah. I think it's from Norway, maybe the school system. I'm not sure. We have to check that. But it's called the Green School, and it's coming also to Tulum next year. Yeah. And it will be great, you know, because it will bring more people to live to Tulum, not only Mexicans but international. Yeah. And it will make this destination more familiar. Right, more family oriented, because they can stay here for a year if they want to and put their kids in that school. Exactly. Yeah, that's huge. That's going to be huge for this area. Yeah. There's just so much happening here. Yeah. And it's an emerging city, so everything. Like every couple of months, we heard about new projects coming. We heard about new infrastructure, and people are coming to Tulum.
Yeah, and there's really no better way to like actually like feel this place than to just come here, right? Like even if you're not thinking about investing, like this is a great destination, a great place to come, a great place to spend some quality time with your friends, with your family. Or there's also a lot of people that just come by themselves and they just kind of want to relax and unwind. So I would like to encourage everybody, if they haven't made it down here, that they should at least plan a trip. And of course, you know, we can give recommendations on the best places to stay, depending on what they're looking for, whether it's the beach, whether it's a condo.
I'll take them scuba diving.
There you go.
Cave diving. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Call us. Bro.
Well, and that's what I really like about you too. You know, it's that you're not just business, right? Like whenever I send people your way, you try to create experiences for them, right? Like depending on what it is that they want to do.
Yeah. The thing is that I'm really in love with this city.
Yeah.
I really love what I do. I'm a huge fan of here, so that's why anything I can do that involves nature, that involves the beach, the caves, I'm into it. You know, I really love it, and I like sharing that experience with other people.
Right.
So I always invite. I don't know why nobody, when I invite people to do cave diving, like I already invite you.
Yeah, you did.
But very few people go with me.
Yeah.
You know, I think they might be afraid.
Well, yeah, first you have to dive, and then you're going to go into a cave, so it's a little bit scary for some. I have done it before, not here, so I will take you up on it one of these days, and I will just plan it ahead of time next time I come. And that's another thing is, I always thought, like, why would somebody ever buy a vacation home, right? When you can just travel into different places, like, why would somebody buy a vacation home? Because I was of the mindset of, I'm never going to buy a vacation home because I want to go to different places.
Yeah.
Well, in the past 2 years, this is my 15th time to Tulum. So even though I can travel to so many places, like
you're a local now.
Yeah, I'm basically a local, right? Which is so cool because I go around to different restaurants and coffee shops and things like that, and people recognize me now. So it's kind of cool to feel like a local here.
Yeah. And I think you have right now the opportunity to start involving more into activities of Tulum. I just took a few months ago a sailing course.
Oh, nice.
I went to so I'm now a passenger. I'm certified to be a passenger and to work inside how you call it, velero.
Like a sailboat?
A sailboat.
Yeah,
exactly.
nice.
It was a 75-foot sailboat.
Oh, wow.
And by the end of the course, we were able to drive it, to manage it by ourselves.
Wow.
So it's great. Imagine coming here, renting a sailboat, and just disappear for 3 days.
Wow, that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and it's really fun, and it's a hobby. You know, it's something that keeps you moving on.
Exactly.
You know?
It makes you think about different things, relax and unwind. You know, so I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there you guys have it. You know, we're here in Tulum. This is Mauricio. He's my trusted real estate advisor here in Tulum. If you guys have any questions about the market, want to plan a visit over here, want to invest in property, just want to travel and get to know the area, feel free to reach out to me. I'll connect you to Mauricio, and you'll be glad that you did. Thanks for watching Inaky's Coffee Club, Episode 4. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you did
It was nice. It was a good talk.